Welcome back to the Hard Rock Cafe in San Antonio. I'm Mark Kusenberger of the Padilla Poll, and I'm with head coach Ron Rittimann of the San Antonio Johnson Jaguars. Well, Coach, you got to see this program through from its inception all the way to a state semifinal berth. What a great journey.
It has been. I tell you, Mark, we've had 6 good years, and I want to go back to the foundation of the program, really. All those kids that played and the community members that were part of it from year one. We didn't get a lot of wins, but we laid the foundation for the teams coming behind them. And we've kind of sold our program to the community of just working hard and trying to get a little better each and every day and each year. And it's getting better. We're still not where we want to be, but we have made progress. And I'm glad for the people in the community and the players that they got to see it on the scoreboard finally this last year, and we won some games. So I'm real excited about the direction we're going in, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Well, I want to ask you about a young man who was a 7th grader when the program began by the name of Hunter, and you got to see him grow up close. As I'm referring to his son, Hunter Rittimann, who was the quarterback of the state semifinalist team. Every coach dreams of a situation like that, and Hunter had such a phenomenal season for you.
He did. Not only was I real proud of what Hunter has done and did for our program from the 7th grade through the 12th grade, but all of his teammates and classmates. That group was a special group from the 7th grade. We ended up this last year with 45 seniors, which is a pretty large class. And really the proudest thing of all, besides being in the state semifinals, was 26 of those kids were honored by the THSCA for Academic All-State. They were great students, they were great athletes, and they really set the tone for the classes coming from behind them.
Well, another young man who had a terrific career for the Johnson Jaguars is Marcel Smith, and one of the biggest plays of the season really in San Antonio came at the end of the first half of the Brandeis game in the second round, where Brandeis is on the Johnson 1-yard line. They look like they're primed for the touchdown, and all of a sudden Marcel Smith is running 100 yards the other way with the football.
That was, and you know, I think anytime you have a season like we do, not only do you have to be good and have good players, but you have to be lucky. And we can go back on 2 or 3 plays throughout the course of the year or in the playoffs that were really game savers and game changers for us. And Marcel's play was one of those. But I've always told the kids, and that's a great example, is that when you're prepared to make plays and you have that opportunity, it does arise, the good players always seem to make those. And Marcel Smith was one of those guys for us. He made a bunch of big plays for us throughout the year. He didn't get his name called a bunch, but he was one of those guys that just every game seemed to make a big play for us.
The Steel game was one of the great games of the year, and the Jaguars pulled out a formation I'd never quite seen before. Lauren Chan called it a swinging gate, but I didn't really see it that way because you had receivers on both sides of the ball, which is not where I'm used to seeing the swinging gate. It was more like you took your offensive line and moved them to one side of the field, and it really seemed to confuse Steel and work great in the red zone.
Well, to go back to the base of that, it is the swinging gate, but we do it a little different at Johnson in that we've never really actually run the swinging gate, but that's where the formation started with. And once you run it once or twice, then you have to mess with it a little bit and move some guys around. So what we've done is we've developed 2 or 3 different formations to run that play out of. And what we're trying to do is just disguise where those 5 eligible receivers are. And that's what we did in the Steel game. We used one of them early in the game to get a touchdown late in the first half. And then at the end of the game, and really we were in a good position that it was 3rd and goal from the 10. They were out of timeouts, and we still had some timeouts in our pocket. So we told Hunter, just take this ball, and if the play's there, make it work. If not, just fall down on it. We'll let the clock run down and try to kick the game-winning field goal. So we felt like it was an opportune time to bring out the second phase of the swinging gate, which they had not seen before, and luckily it worked out for us.
Well, a great fun season, but now you graduate a lot of seniors, and in a little bit over a month, you get to start all over again with some of the same challenges, very strong district, strong non-district schedule, and now the expectations are higher than ever.
Well, they are. At Johnson High School right now, their expectations are as high as they've ever been, but that's what we want. We expect to be in a program and in a place where everybody wants to be successful and everybody expects to be successful. The bottom line, though, for our team this year is we have some good, young, talented kids coming through the program, but they're not going to win games based on what happened last year. They're going to win games based on what they do this year and the work they put in. And I believe we have the leadership on this team to do those things. Time will tell, but we are definitely excited about what the future holds and what this next year's team can do.
Coach Rittimann, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Ron Rittimann of the San Antonio Johnson Jaguars, and I'm Mark Kusenberger with PSquaredSports.com.